Judge Davis. Susan is the daughter of Polly, granddaughter of Henry, mother of Mamie. And this is a family-owned home. It was not always here on the ranch. It was originally in Richmond, Texas, which is 9 miles north of here. And in 1977, the hospital that was next door to it decided they were going to tear it down and put in a nursing home. So the range got the house back and they moved it out here. It took them 3 days to make the move, but once they get it here, they're able to restore it back to its Victorian grandeur. And that's what you'll see today. Now, a few rules. First one is you can take pictures, but no flash. Next one is no food, drink, or chewing gum allowed in the house, and you can't touch anything. Okay? Any questions before we go in? No? All right, let's go.
Okay, yes.
Go ahead and go right in that room. Right?
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I have a picture. You can see. Go ahead, go all the way in. Here's the picture.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So it was in pretty bad shape, but the bones were good. The majority of it, so anyway. Now, this is the formal parlor. This is where the Davises would entertain their guests of the same class or higher. It is also where they celebrated Christmas, Easter, weddings, funerals, christenings, all of those things. If nothing was going on in this room, they would have the door shut and no one came in here. Polly is in that picture there on the table, and she lived in this house from 1888 to 1896. In 1888, she had a house out here on the ranch, but it burned. So she then moved into town to live in this house with her grandchildren and the rest of her family. She lived here until 1896, which is the year she passed away. They had her funeral in this room, and also in this room, in front of the fireplace, is where Mamie and Albert George got married. Okay, as we go through the house, if you have questions, just let me know.
Okay.
All righty, come on over here. Okay, this is Judge Davis. Now, he is not a judge in the courtroom. He is a businessman. He has 2 banks, a cottonseed oil company, a cotton gin, and several other businesses. This is his wife, Susan Elizabeth. There's a larger portrait of the same picture. And they have 3 children. Their oldest is Daisy, and she passes away as a young child. Then there's Mamie, and then there's Bud. When Susan is 29 years old, she gets what they call at the time consumption. It's really tuberculosis, and she knows she's going to die. Well, she has 2 young children, so she gets to pick her husband's second wife. Now, the reason for this is because she wants to know who is going to be taking care of her kids. She also wants to make sure that they will get their inheritance. So she chooses her cousin, Belle Ryon. Now, Belle is familiar with the children. She comes to visit often, and so they know the kids will be well taken care of. So 4 years after Susan's death, the judge does marry Belle, and they're actually married for 40 years. Don't have any kids of their own, but Susan's kids are well taken care of. Now, this room here is known as the gentleman's study. This is where the men can come and they can smoke, they can drink, they can gamble, they can talk business, they can talk politics, none of which the ladies want to look at. So, if the doors are shut, they can do those things. If the doors are open, they have to hide these things. For example, this is the tantalus table. If you lift up the sides, the center part goes down into the cabinet, top closes over, it's just a table. Now, over here we have two examples of two walking sticks. These are what every well-dressed gentleman would carry. They were not considered fully dressed if they did not have their walking sticks. On the table you see some examples of the pipes that they smoked, and of course the spittoon on the floor for those people who chew tobacco. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Why was he called a judge if he was just a
Oh, it was just a form of respect.
Okay.
Kind of like Colonel Sanders. Okay, come on in here. Okay, this is the ladies' sitting room. This is where the ladies come. They can have tea and dessert. They can play the pump organ. They can sing. They can sew. They can visit. Take a nap if they wish. Pretty much do whatever they want to do. No secrets in here. Now, children can come in here at night if there's no company. And what they would do for entertainment is any of the things I mentioned, plus they could choose a book off the shelf that they had been reading as a family, and everybody in the room would take turns reading out loud. Of course, they read the classics, The Wizard of Oz, Treasure Island, Robinson Crusoe, things like that. Okay.
Did this house have electricity when it was first built?
Not when it was first built. No, it was built sometime. We don't have the exact date, but sometime between 1850 and 1870.
Okay, so it's old.
So yeah. And now in the history of the house, yes, they do get electric. They do get indoor plumbing, but for our purposes, not yet. Okay, if you want to go over to the dining room, I'll meet you over there.
Doors.
Okay, this is the dining room. Now, this is where the adults in the family ate. Children under 14 ate in the kitchen until they learned their manners. The children had between 200 and 300 rules of etiquette to learn, 75 just for the table. They have to know what every piece of china is and how to use it, as well as the silverware and other things like that. They had some rules like we still use today, put your napkin in your lap, don't chew with your mouth open, things like that. Now, Mr. Davis had a mustache, and so his children, one Christmas, gave him a mustache cup so he could drink his hot beverage without, did you get it? Mm-hmm. Without getting his mustache wet. This cup and saucer is 128 years old. Mm-hmm. All righty, let's go into the kitchen. This room is very plain. That's because this is a work area. Now, the Davises did have servants. They had a cook. She's the only one who lives on property. The other servants, because it's in town, have their own homes and can walk to work. This right here is a washing machine to wash your clothes. The table is set, of course, for the children so that they can learn their manners, and the nanny would be the one that would be teaching them. The rectangle with the stars, that is a butter mold, and because we as Texans know, butter tastes better if it's got a star in it. The stove is wood burning. Wood goes in on the left. The center is the oven, and the far right is a water reservoir. No indoor plumbing, no water heaters, so that's how they got their hot water. In the pantry, there's two things I'm going to point out. First one is about this big, and it's brown and has a long pole in the center of it. That is a floor sweeper. It hasn't changed much over the years. Next to it is a black thing, and that is a vacuum cleaner.
So you operate by pulling reception?
Yes, yes. It's very, I don't think it worked very well.
It wasn't much more effective than the carpet.
No, the carpet sweeper was probably better.
Yeah, yeah.
But Mr. Davis did say, well, my servants have a vacuum. Do yours? Sort of like the new iPhone, you know?
And have the latest and greatest gadgets.
That's right.
Has blocks of ice for the
For the icebox, yeah,
screens to keep the
flies
critters out
out,
of the
because there's no
ties.
screens on the windows.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All righty, let's go this way, we'll go upstairs. Okay, you can hold on to the railing if you wish. Okay, this furniture here is actually made out of longhorns. It was one of Mr. Davis's favorites. Okay, come on in here. Alrighty, this is the master bedroom. And up here on the wall, you see there's a picture of Mamie and Bud. Over here in front of the window is where the judge would shave, and then in the back corner is where you have a pitcher and basin for the daily sponge baths. No indoor plumbing, so that's what they would do in the morning and the evening. Over here under the bed is their chamber pot for those nighttime emergencies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the card settee.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right, let's go over here. Okay, this is Mamie. And this is her bedroom. This is her fiance, Albert George. These are the two that got married downstairs, the two that built the George house, and the two that the ranch is named after. This is her bedroom, and it is set up to look like it did when she was 16. For her 16th birthday, she received this bedroom set as a gift from her parents. Her father had an artisan in Galveston hand carve the entire set. The little chair in the back corner over there is called a lollipop chair because it looks like lollipops on the side. And then she has her own changing room over here.
It's nice that it matched the fireplace surround wood. Wood matches.
Yeah, actually there is a fireplace. The mantle that goes with the set is at the George house.
Oh, okay.
But
Still.
it's still pretty good, yeah. Okay, once you looked around, come on up here. Okay, we're going to go in there. Bud's room. That's Bud over there in the picture. And yes, he's wearing a dress, not for fashion, but because he's not potty trained. Boys and girls at this time in history wore dresses until they were potty trained. That's why his hair is parted in the center, because it showed he was a boy. Girls parted their hair on the right or the left. Now, once he's potty trained, he gets to wear shorts with socks that come up to the bottom of his shorts. And when he turns 14, he gets to wear long pants, because he's considered an adult. Now, Bud does grow up. He goes to college and studies business. When he returns, he helps his parents with their businesses. When he's a young man, he decides he does not want to marry, so he has a room here at his parents', a room at his sister's, and a suite in Houston. Now, he, unfortunately, he gets tuberculosis like his mother around the age of 43 and does pass away. And at that point, everything goes to Mamie, and that's why we have the George Ranch instead of the Davis George or something like that. Mhm. Okay, go right in here. Okay, this is the master bedroom. No, it's not. We'll start over. This is the guest bedroom. And this is, you notice the furniture looks like it's made out of bamboo. That is because to the Victorians, if they had things that reminded people of Asia, it made them look wealthy, well-traveled, and well-educated. This is not bamboo, however. It is actually maple carved to look like bamboo. The coverlet on the bed is all hand crocheted, and then the little rocking chair back here by the dresser was owned by the family, and so I'm sure Mamie and Bud sat in that chair at one point or another. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's head on back downstairs. Okay, this house has 3 entrances. This one over here, servants and deliveries. This one here is family. And then the one you came in, of course, is for guests. Does anybody have any questions before I let you out? All right. Well, I'm so glad you came. And you have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.